Alright, so we broke a ball in our TPX and we are going to demonstrate how to take it apart and clean it up and put it back together. We've made sure that we don't have a CO2 in it. We're going to take the plug out, put that over there. We're going to remove the barrel. And put that over there. Now, one of the weird things about this gun is taking it apart is a lot easier if you take out this screw, which actually holds the receiver inside. Now, it's held tight by the tension of the receiver, so the trick is to grab the TPX aluminum piece that covers the barrel and push it towards the back of the gun while you hold on to the gun with your other hand, and you can pull that screw right out. And then that makes the gun come apart a lot easier. If you push down on the safety while you take the gun apart, and there's a hook at the bottom right here that you want to pull apart on an angle first. And once you've got that started, you can hold the trigger guard down and hold the safety down and pick the gun up. And that should keep all the guts with the bottom half, and then just the top half comes out. And I'll dump the screws. This metal sleeve with the holes that fits the detent goes in the back. And you can see here you've got the barrel shroud, the breech block, the valve and the spring and the O-ring, the regulator banjo fitting, the brass tube, which is that's my own name I made up, the banjo fitting, and the pierce section. And so you can just push them forward a little bit and slide them right out the back. The brass tube that goes in between the two banjo fittings just presses in. It has an O-ring on each end, and those are the small O-rings that you got with your kit. And the same sort of fitting joins the valve to the regulator. Now, we're not going to clean anything of this out right now. I'll make a separate one for doing the inside of the valve and the inside of the regulator. But we'll just clean up our paint real good and clean out our barrel, and then clean out our receiver. Now, the receiver here, you can see, has a regular Tippmann detent in the side, and that's usually the only place paint can escape out the side into the body. So we'll clean up the breech block.
3 minutes.
How many? Perfect. So. Now, this can be cleaned up also with one of the little spray cans that you use for cleaning up keyboards, or also Q-tips fit really well in this small stuff here. And I had some in my box, but I see they're missing. Get whatever little paint residue is off the inside. There we go. And another little tricky piece is the clear plastic window for the top actually comes off, and it slides in a small gate right in the body. So as soon as I clean that, I put it back so I don't lose it. Everything else looks pretty good cleanliness wise. And so we're cleaned and ready to, oh, awesome. Thank you. There we go. detent. So once you've cleaned the paint off the detent, we can set it down in the body. It fits in the little trench. Make sure we've cleaned all the paint off our spring, because it'll splatter around in there real good. And now we've just greased these recently, so I'm happy with how much grease I've got on all my O-rings. But basically, it's very important when you put these parts together to make sure that you don't shave off that O-ring with the other piece. Now you can see this one is actually ground a little different there, and so you can use that to help you. See there, it tried to do it. There it is. And so that's together. Now this is the firing actuator right there. You want to make sure that that's pushed in before you put it back together. If it's out, sometimes the firing lever, which is just this piece of plastic here, won't catch on it properly and pull the trigger for you if it's not pushed in. So that goes like that. That goes there. This O-ring goes on the receiver. Like that, right on the breech block. You can see I missed some paint. No, it was a barrel break we had, so no paint got underneath the front bolt, whatever they call it. So put this back together. Got to kind of compress the spring a little bit. Oops. My O-ring is tricking me out here. There we go. I'm making this look harder than it is. Sure Kyle will be disappointed. There we go. There. Okay. Now this plastic piece, which is kind of a wing shape, actually goes here like that to help support the brass tube. So then carefully put the brass tube back in the pierced pin, back into the back, like so, and then you can put it back together. Now one of the tricks with this, of course, you want to make sure you've got all your pieces where they go. And what I like to do is being very careful of this, which is your magazine release. What I did on one of the other guns that I tried out, and I'm going to do with this one, is actually super glue the bottom of the spring so that it stays in there. So you've got to make sure that you get the magazine release like that, and then I just hold on to the barrel shroud and put the bottom together with the top. Now when you kind of get it seated part way, it's good to hook and push, and that'll let you catch this magazine release on the outside. Once you do that, you've pretty much got it together. Once again, you want to make sure that this hook here goes together gently so you don't crack it. To put this screw back in, simply grab the shroud and push it to the rear of the gun, and the screw will go right in.